You're shackled to cold stone. The air stinks of damp rot and fear, and before you stands her. 7 feet tall, iron-clad, spiked, silent. The Iron Maiden, a coffin of torture, death, and legend. But what if I told you everything you thought you knew about the Iron Maiden is a lie? This isn't just a story of pain, it's a story of power, propaganda, and how one of the most terrifying instruments of death may have never been used at all. The Iron Maiden has haunted our imagination for centuries. A coffin lined with spikes. Victims supposedly locked inside, impaled slowly, left to bleed, suffocate, or both. A torture device worthy of nightmares or horror films. And yet, historians have asked for decades, where's the proof? No medieval texts mention her, no inquisitors described her, no executioners kept her, so where did she come from? To answer that, we need to turn the clock forward, not backward, to the late 1700s. That's right, the Iron Maiden isn't a relic of the Dark Ages, she's a modern fabrication, born in an era obsessed with the cruelty of the past, and hungry for spectacle. It's 1793. The Enlightenment is sweeping Europe, and with it, a hunger for reason, order, and fascination with barbarism. In Nuremberg, a curious exhibit draws crowds. It's called the Eiserne Jungfrau, the Iron Maiden. A man named Johann Philipp Siebenkees, a university professor, claims it was used to punish criminals who dared to insult the Virgin Mary. But there's a problem. There's no record of the Iron Maiden before this moment. And the object Siebenkees unveiled, it wasn't found. It was assembled from pieces of old artifacts. Archaeologists now believe it was a theatrical creation, part fact, mostly fiction. So why invent such a device? And why did people believe it? Fear is a powerful thing, and during times of upheaval, fear can be weaponized. The late 18th and 19th centuries were marked by revolution, war, and rising nationalism. In Germany, national identity was tied to history, and history needed symbols. The Iron Maiden became that symbol, not of Germany's glory, but of its dark medieval past. A warning, a legend, a myth turned artifact. Victorian Britain, too, fell under the Iron Maiden's spell. Museums filled with torture exhibitions drew thousands. The goal? To paint the Middle Ages as a time of ignorance and cruelty, conveniently justifying the so-called progress of the modern age. But behind the Iron Door was a more cynical truth. By the 1800s, Iron Maidens were being manufactured, not for punishment, but for profit. They toured in carnivals, freak shows, and exhibitions. Each claimed authenticity. Each told the same horrifying tale. Step inside and feel the agony of the Middle Ages. But the real agony? That the Iron Maiden was a propaganda tool, one used to vilify the past and romanticize the present. This wasn't just entertainment, it was historical revisionism. And it worked. Even today, millions believe the Iron Maiden was a standard torture device of medieval Europe. The truth? There is no evidence anyone was ever killed by one. Make no mistake, medieval Europe was brutal. Torture did exist, but the Iron Maiden, she's different. She's a story we wanted to believe. Why? Because we need monsters. We crave symbols. And the Iron Maiden offered a perfect monster. Faceless, silent, inescapable. Today, the Iron Maiden is a novelty, a prop, a Halloween costume. But beneath the laughter is a disturbing question. How many other truths do we believe because they're thrilling, not because they're real? Throughout history, the image of the Iron Maiden has been used to depict enemies as cruel and barbaric. Nazis used her image in propaganda. So did Cold War media. She became a symbol, not just of torture, but of the other, those we fear, those we wish to control. Even heavy metal bands adopted her. She became the face of rebellion, of horror, of forbidden history. But real history? It's more complex, more human. Modern researchers now trace the Iron Maiden's myth to earlier tales, like the execution of Roman general Marcus Licinius Crassus, allegedly killed in a brazen bull, or the Venus statue torture myth from the 1500s, a woman-shaped statue with hidden spikes. But these too are shrouded in doubt. In the end, the Iron Maiden wasn't built to kill the body. She was built to control the mind. Fear, fascination, fiction. That's her legacy. The Iron Maiden still stands, silent, cold, enigmatic. But the real horror is not what she did. It's what we allowed ourselves to believe, that history is black and white, that cruelty can be contained in a box, that truth doesn't matter when the story is compelling enough. So the next time you see her at a museum, on a screen, in your nightmares, remember, she's not just a relic, she's a warning. Not about torture, but about how we tell history. And if this story made you question the past and how we see it, subscribe for more lost truths, hidden histories, and the strange myths we still carry. Share this with someone who loves history and challenge them to ask, what other horrors are we still believing? Let's uncover them together.